The average Social Security in America is just about $1,700 per month. Now, while that may sound pretty good, it's actually pretty close to poverty. Poverty is considered about $1,000 to $1,200 per month. And so if you're making $1,700 per month, if you're retired, there's nothing wrong with that. Feel great about that. But without a paid for house, it's going to be very hard. And even if you have a paid for house, it's going to be very hard if you depend on Social Security as your only and primary source of income. And so what does that mean? That means you have to have a side hustle. And what does that mean? You're not retired, you're hustling. And what does that mean? When does that stop and how does that stop? At a certain point, your body, no matter how well you take care of it, can't hustle, can't move. And I've seen it. I've spent time with the elderly. And this is why you need to be very careful if you're young and middle-aged to build up Social Security, but also to build up savings and to plan accordingly as best you can. I understand life happens, so I don't want to be judgmental or on a high horse. I still try to figure things out myself, but this is something you need to be aware of. Okay? And Social Security is a supplement. Okay? And you need to have that and something else. And if your something else is depending on you doing something, then that means you're not retired, you're working. And that means when you get into your 70s or 80s and you can't work, how does that end? So don't be fearful, but be mindful that $1,700 a month, while it's great, it's also close to poverty. And remember, that's why financial advisors recommend that you have a paid off house by the time you get to retirement. And that's why you should bite the bullet when you're younger and position yourself. And if you're not, you're going to have to live with someone. And if you're not, you're going to have to live a very unconforming life in a vehicle or RV, which isn't bad until you get burned out on the road or something happens and you can't. Eventually the rubber meets the road. But that doesn't mean you should live in fear. It just means be mindful of the statistics, the facts, which is the average Social Security is $1,700 a month. And that's very close to the poverty line. So without subsidies for a house, car, and your subsidies are based on your net worth. So if you have money in savings in the bank, not buried in a backyard, whether through an inheritance or through your own savings, you're not going to be able to get subsidies because you got to basically prove you don't have anything to get a subsidy. And when you get a subsidy, beggars can't be choosers. That means you may not be in the apartment complex you want. You may not be in the area you want. Beggars can't be choosers. You can't choose what you want when you're asking for help. And this is the incentive to do what you need to do for you and motivate yourself to secure your financial future, not through gambling or risky investments. It's okay if you want to do some of that. I don't want to be a hypocrite. We all enjoy some of that, but you need to focus and discipline yourself to save, to pay down debt, to be mindful how much you're shopping, to be mindful with how many babies, how many pets, and take care of yourself, okay, as best you can. I mean, I have empathy that anything can happen at any time, but focus, okay. I hope this message helped you a little bit. Thank you.